Back here on the local front, a contentious labor law takes effect today amid sharply divergent views between business groups and labor unions. Our political correspondent Moon Hye-ryeon explains.
South Korea's controversial so-called yellow envelope law took effect on Tuesday after a 6-month preparation period, bringing major changes to labor relations and collective bargaining. The revised labor law expands the definition of an employer and the scope of labor disputes, while limiting companies' ability to claim damages from workers involved in strikes. One of the most significant changes strengthens responsibility for subcontracted workers. Under the new rules, parent companies may be required to negotiate with subcontractor unions if they are found to exercise substantial control over those workers' conditions such as working hours and methods. Previously, negotiations were generally limited to unions representing workers directly employed by a company. The law also broadens the definition of labor disputes. In addition to decisions directly setting working conditions, disputes can now include management decisions that significantly affect them, such as restructuring or layoffs tied to overseas investment or factory expansion. The government says it spent the past 6 months preparing implementation guidelines and manuals to help companies and unions adjust to the new system. However, the law remains controversial. Business groups warn it could increase labor disputes, arguing that uncertainty over who qualifies as an employer may trigger conflicts at work sites. Labor groups, while welcoming the law, says it still falls short of fully guaranteeing bargaining rights. On the first day of implementation, several labor groups staged rallies and press conferences across Seoul, demanding direct negotiations with parent companies. Unions representing delivery workers, airport subcontractors, and university cleaners called on what they described as the real employers to come to the bargaining table. During a speech marking the 80th anniversary of the Federation of Korean Trade Unions, President Lee Jae-myung said he hopes the law will serve as a starting point for subcontracted workers and parent companies to resolve disputes through dialogue and compromise. The Labour Ministry expects some confusion in the early stages of implementation and says it will provide continued support. Moon Hye-ryeon, Arirang News.